Howdy, Possum Patty here. Earlier in the season, as I was walking down the lane, I noticed this little tree with large white blossoms and started thinking, elderberries. So come on along. And sure enough, there were lots of purple berries in the month of August. But all of a sudden, they seemed to disappear. I think the birds were having a feast. So I decided I better get down the lane and pick some if I wanted to make some dye. So here I am, standing on the side of the road. I am wearing tall boots and long pants. I'm wearing gloves because I didn't want to get my hands all stained purple. And I'm pulling off what was left of the elderberries. Lucky for me, a wild grapevine, decided to grow up the side of the elderberry tree, even though the tree isn't too tall. Most of it was still over my head, and I just tugged on the vine, and that brought the branches down within reach. So after collecting a small bowl full of the berries, I headed back to the house. Well, as you can see, the birds have eaten most of the berries, but that's okay. I am going to take 1 cup of just plain white distilled vinegar and put it in a small pan. Now you can use your regular pan to cook these berries because once they're cooked, they're not poisonous. They'll just give you a tummy ache if you eat them raw. So don't eat them raw. But people do make jams and jellies and pies. I'm not going to bother trying to pick off each little berry. I'm just going to cut them into the pan because I can strain it out later. No problem. My scissors upside down. Okay, you can already see some of the pink and purple going into the pan. I've got it on low heat. I'm going to cook this down. Okay, this bunch has quite a few berries left on it, so you can see they're quite tiny. Okay, I've got it boiling pretty good now, and most people don't realize, but vinegar is like 95% water, so I'm going to boil out a lot of that water. I'm going to make a concentrated mix. Okay, the idea here is to strain out what's left of the berries and the stems. I'm going to put my gloves on because I know I'm going to make a mess. I don't do anything without making a mess. Smash them down a little bit. See, the berries that were black are now sort of pink. You can feel the seeds inside. this is what I'm left with here. Maybe I can squeeze some more out. Like a cooking show. All right, that's good enough. Berries back in there. This is hot. I'm going to let it cool. I am going to just dispose of this newspaper. Still smells like vinegar. It's probably the vinegar, the acid in the vinegar that helps draw the color out of the berry skins, I'm guessing. After the dye cooled, I put it into this spray bottle. This is just an old Secret Body Splash spray bottle. I don't know how fine a spray this is or not. So this is just a test. First test of my elderberry dye. This is watercolor paper and this is smooth Bristol. And we'll just give it a little spray there. Ooh, very pretty. Okay, we'll let that dry and see how it looks. Look how gorgeous this is. Oh my gosh, I love, love, love it on this watercolor paper. When you spray it, it comes down pink and then it turns purple. This is a heavier spray. This is a lighter spray. And I don't know what these white spots are, maybe some of the vinegar. And this is on the cardstock, the thinner stuff, sketch paper. And it's not as colorful, really. Kind of like a gray, a blue-gray compared to the color on this paper. So I definitely have to use this on some watercolor paper. But I love that. I love it. I love it. Okay, I have 3 ounces of my elderberry dye to use up. I don't want to save it. I want to use it up. So I'm going to be making some faux handmade papers. I think I'll use this to dye the papers and the flowers that I have in my flower press to make my faux handmade papers. So stay tuned for that video. And thanks for coming along today during my elderberry experiment. Happy making. Bye-bye now.